Deep within the Xinling royal palace, a secluded bamboo forest stood in serene tranquility. "How's everything going, Wenzi?" The Xinling king, seated in a pavilion, spoke in a calm, measured tone. "Your Majesty, the preparations for tomorrow's auction are complete," Wenzi replied with utmost respect. "Good. The items up for auction this time are incredibly valuable. Ensure nothing goes wrong," the Xinling king said, his tone casual yet commanding. "And don't let the security slack off." "Yes, Your Majesty," Wenzi acknowledged before retreating. The responsibility for organizing the auction rested entirely on his shoulders, so he had to give it his all. The Xinling king muttered to himself, "I don't know why, but my left eyelid keeps twitching. Could it be an omen of something bad? Whatever, once this auction is over, it'll be time to launch an attack on Medusa. The nine-colored heaven-swallowing python, you won't escape my grasp. Himph. And Zhu, you just wait for Solomon's men to deal with you. As for Yingying, you'll be mine sooner or later." "Ha ha ha ha." The Xinling king's laughter echoed menacingly through the bamboo forest. Meanwhile, the Xinling royal palace and Xinling city were bustling with activity, as tomorrow marked the beginning of the much-anticipated auction. Numerous powerful sects and major forces had already taken up residence in Xinling city, eagerly awaiting the event. After all, the auction would undoubtedly feature rare and exotic treasures. Acquiring even one or two of these items could significantly enhance their personal power or benefit their sects. Within Xinling city, two particularly powerful factions stood out. The first was the Yingying clan. Despite their rather unremarkable name, this clan had existed since the founding of the Xinling royal family, and their influence ran deep. The clan was known for producing terrifyingly powerful warriors who wielded earth-attributed do qi. The construction of the Xinling royal family's Great Wall, which protected against the Medusa clan, was heavily reliant on the Yingying clan's power. Without their help, it would have been nearly impossible for the Xinling royal family to complete such a massive project. Their mastery over earth-attributed do qi was unmatched across the entire mystic three heavens. The second powerful faction was the Sun clan, a curious case. For generations, the Sun clan had served as the royal guards for the Xinling royal family. However, the royal family had long suspected the Sun clan harbored ambitions to usurp their position. Still, the Sun clan didn't dare make any rash moves, wary of the ancient monsters hidden within the royal family. The Xinling royal family was aware of the Sun clan's intentions, but chose not to confront them, allowing them to expand their influence unchecked. This uneasy balance was why the two factions had coexisted peacefully so far. Yet the royal family remained confident that, if the Sun clan ever attempted a rebellion, they could easily crush them. "Why can't you slow down a little, girl?" An irritated voice called out from behind a young woman. "Are you trying to wear out your poor old master's bones?" The voice grumbled. All right, dear master," the young woman replied with a playful tone as she turned to look at her master. "But if we don't hurry, all the good stuff will be gone." The two speakers were an elderly man and a young woman. The old man wore yellow robes and smiled warmly at the young woman. His eyes, however, held a depth of wisdom and a steady presence that exuded the air of an immovable mountain. The young woman, also dressed in yellow, had a slim figure and short hair that gave her an impish, mischievous appearance. Hanging from her waist was a finely crafted jade pendant, inscribed with the word Earth. "It's someone from the Yingying clan." Passers-by who noticed the pair immediately greeted them with respect, for the Yingying clan standing in Xinling city, and even within the Xinling royal family, was held in high regard, more so than the Sun clan. After all, the Yingying clan had built the Great Wall. This wall had fended off countless invasions from the Medusa clan, protecting the people of the region. As a result, the common folk felt deeply grateful to the Yingying clan. "Master, let's head to the medicine market first. I heard the Xinling royal family is holding a small auction there with all sorts of rare and strange items," the young woman said excitedly as she made her way toward the market. The old man sighed. Despite his exasperation, he followed her. After all, this little girl held a significant position within the Yingying clan, and as her master, it was his duty to keep her safe. The Xinling royal family truly lives up to its reputation. Outside an inn, two young men carrying swords appeared. As they arrived, their presence didn't give off any noticeable energy, but their sharp sword intent was impossible to hide. Despite their youthful appearance, the power they exuded was unmistakable. Our master couldn't make it this time, so I've brought you here to take a look. Maybe you'll find something that helps you break through your current bottleneck. The older man, referred to as the third senior brother, glanced at his younger apprentice with a nod of approval. He admired this junior disciple greatly. Though the younger one had joined their sect later than others, his comprehension of swordsmanship was remarkable, even making the senior disciples feel ashamed. Thank you, third senior brother, but I'm not particularly interested in these things, the younger man replied nonchalantly before heading straight to his residence. Sigh. He's completely obsessed with swordsmanship, the third senior brother muttered. He knew all too well about his junior's eccentric attitude, but he didn't mind, and he too returned to his lodging. Their sect, Wanjianmen, was the leading sect among the 9 great supersects, so it was only natural that they wouldn't miss such a grand event. It seems Yingying City has become quite the gathering spot for powerful forces. With so many factions gathering, this auction promises to be highly anticipated, the third senior brother said before disappearing into the inn. By now, Yingying City had become a hub for powerful sects and forces, with some arriving openly and others in secret. Within the Yingying Royal Palace, a finely crafted room housed the items prepared for the auction. How are the security arrangements? When Z appeared at the door, addressing the soldiers guarding the entrance. Reporting, sir. Security has been deployed throughout the Yingying Royal Palace and the outer perimeter of Yingying City, the soldier replied respectfully. Unless they're a Docian, no one will get through, he added with confidence. Good, Onesie nodded. You've worked hard. After the auction, I'll make sure you all get a little vacation. Keep up the good work. With that, Onesie left the room. Motivated by the promise of a break, the soldiers redoubled their efforts, patrolling with renewed energy. Meanwhile, Xiao and his companions arrived at the medicine market. As they wandered through, they searched for high-grade medicinal herbs while also taking in the atmosphere of this prestigious event that preceded the grand auction of the mystic 3 heavens. Even Xiao couldn't help but feel his heart stir as his eyes grew heated at the sight of so many rare and precious treasures. Some of the items were so valuable that even he, a renowned alchemist, couldn't help but feel a bit envious. As a skilled alchemist, Xiao had a deep appreciation for rare medicinal herbs. After all, even the most talented alchemist couldn't produce magical pills without the right ingredients. No matter how skilled you were, without materials, creating extraordinary pills would be impossible. Although I haven't found any clues regarding the sacred flame, I should still make preparations to consume it, Xiao mused to himself. To do so, I need 3 specific ingredients: the 7 flame flower, the rising sun pill, and the blood spirit ice essence. Right now, I've barely gathered 2 of the 3. I already have enough blood spirit ice essence, but the 7 flame flower is too rare. If I can't find it, I might have to make do with the 3 flame flower I have. Now, the only thing left is the rising sun pill. That's a 2nd-rank imperial class pill, Xiao quickly calculated in his mind. He knew that alchemists ranked from 1 to 10 tiers, with the 10th tier being the emperor class. However, once you reach the imperial realm, it was further divided into 3 ranks: 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, with each rank further split into heaven, earth, and profound levels. Currently, Xiao soul power was stuck at the peak of the mortal grade in the imperial realm. Neither his soul power nor his alchemy skills had advanced, leaving him stuck at the peak of 1st-rank heaven-grade pills. The leap to become a 2nd-rank imperial-class alchemist seemed like an unattainable goal. Still, Xiao had a feeling that as soon as his soul power made another breakthrough, reaching the 2nd-rank imperial class as an alchemist would be within his grasp. Then, he'd be able to craft the rising sun pill. To make the rising sun pill, I need gold silver dew, ice heart grass, and the blood of a 6th-rank ice-type magical beast. 6th-rank ice-type magical beast blood and core. Xiao ran through the list of ingredients in his mind, surprised by the challenge ahead. After all, a 6th-rank magical beast was as strong as a human 6-star Do D. Xiao himself was only at the perfect 4-star Do D level, just one step away from 5-star Do-D. Magical beasts, though, were more cunning and ferocious than humans, and they were often stronger than their human counterparts at the same level. Sigh. I guess I'll just take it one step at a time, Xiao thought to himself, continuing his stroll through the medicine market. The market itself was vast, with two main paths cutting through it and leaving a wide road in the middle. On either side of the road were countless stalls stretching out for hundreds of meters. Such a massive trading hub was something that could only be found in the Xinling royal family's domain. On either side of the road, merchants continuously called out their wares. The air was thick with the rich aroma of medicinal herbs and the scent of pills, making the place incredibly lively. Xiao, what are you standing around for? Let's go, Yingying called out as she noticed Xiao daydreaming. Without waiting for a response, she grabbed his arm and dragged him deeper into the market. The true treasures were always found deeper inside. Xiao, still lost in thought, allowed her to lead him, while Mu Feng, following behind, rolled his eyes at the pair before catching up. Don't miss out. A prime 100-year-old wood Ganoderma. Perfect for those cultivating wood-based techniques, one vendor shouted. 9th tier wind extreme pill. Boost speed for a short time. Perfect for making a quick escape. Don't miss this chance. Another vendor called out as Xiao and his companions made their way deeper into the market. Most of the items on sale were suited for those below the Do-D level, though. This market is so lively, Yingying remarked with delight before dashing off ahead of them. She stopped at a stall that displayed all sorts of odd and quirky items. Like most girls, Yingying had a weakness for pretty and cute things, and she couldn't resist taking a closer look. Let's give her a moment, Xiao said with a sigh. I've got a few things to buy myself, so I'll catch up with you later, Mu Feng chimed in before heading off in another direction. All right, let's meet in the deeper part of the market. Don't get lost with all these people around, Xiao advised. Based on his own observations, he figured Mu Feng was probably off to gather materials to fend off ghostly creatures. Got it, Mu Feng replied before disappearing into the crowd. I've heard that the Mystic Three Heavens medicine market is extraordinary. Seeing it for myself today, I have to say it truly is, Xiao thought, glancing back at the area they had just passed. Although most of the medicinal herbs and pills near the entrance were suited for those below the Do-D level, Xiao had still seen a few herbs that were new even to his well-trained eyes. He couldn't help but look forward to what the deeper parts of the market might hold. Let's hope this place doesn't disappoint, Xiao murmured with a smile, preparing to pull Yingying along into the depths of the market. His powerful soul perception faintly sensed a few concealed yet terrifying presences deeper inside the market. Anything that could stir Xiao senses like that had to be incredibly formidable. Yingying? Where'd she go? A moment later, Xiao realized something was amiss. He had just used his soul power to lock onto Yingying, so how could she have disappeared? Boss, this is so pretty. How much for this? A bell-like voice echoed nearby. Xiao turned his head and sighed helplessly. Yingying was squatting right in front of him, her colorful dress brushing the ground as she examined a finely crafted little rabbit figure at a stall. It was an exquisitely carved figure. Its tiny rabbit hands, feet, and tail were lifelike. But the most peculiar feature was the jade head, which had 3 faces. The translucent, delicate figure was indeed quite adorable. Yingying picked up the intricate rabbit figure, her large, watery eyes fixated on it with intense concentration. Seeing her so engrossed in the little trinket, Xiao couldn't help but smile and wait patiently by her side. Young lady, that's quite the treasure you're holding, the vendor said with a chuckle. This is called the 3-Jade Exquisite Rabbit, crafted from the magic core of a 3rd-rank Imperial Ice-type magical beast. When worn, it emits a cool sensation that spreads through your body, offering considerable resistance against fire-type enemies. Such a fine piece of jade suits a beauty like yourself perfectly, the vendor added with a grin. Oh, boss, how much is it? Yingying asked, still focused on the delicate figure in her hand. It's not too expensive. Just a 1st-rank Imperial-class profound pill, the vendor replied with a smirk. Or, if you prefer, I'll let it go for 1 million gold coins. What? 1 million gold coins, Or a first-rank Imperial-class profound pill? Yingying's delicate lips parted in surprise, her bright eyes shifting from the rabbit figure to the thin man standing behind the stall. 1,000,000 gold coins was no small amount. Even if the item before her was valuable, it certainly didn't seem worth that much. And a first-rank Imperial-class profound pill? This seemingly simple trinket was priced as though it were worth a fortune, clearly trying to take advantage of unwary buyers. The stall in front of them wasn't particularly large, spanning about 3 meters, but it was decently sized compared to the others nearby. The assortment of goods on display attracted occasional glances from passers-by, though most only glanced briefly before moving on. The stall owner was an extremely thin man, his gaunt figure emphasized by the coarse cloth he wore. Despite Yingying's strength as a mid-5-star Do-D, she couldn't sense any trace of energy from the stall owner, which piqued her curiosity. Heh, young lady, don't underestimate this 3-jade exquisite rabbit. The ice-type magical beast core used to create it is from a 3rd-rank imperial beast, comparable to a human 3-star Do-D. The thin man's eyes gleamed as he noticed Yingying's fondness for the rabbit, his gaze sweeping over her as he spoke. You're asking for too much, Yingying said, her expression neutral. Even though it's made from a 3rd-rank imperial ice-type core, the price is still way too high. You might as well be robbing me. At that moment, a voice rang out from nearby, clear and bold. That's a bit excessive, isn't it? Xiao, speaking just loud enough for Yingying and the vendor to hear, muttered to himself, only a 3rd-rank imperial beast core? Huh? Looks like this market's peak offerings won't go beyond that level. Anything 4th rank and above is impossible to find here, and as for 6th rank, well, that's simply out of reach. His eyes focused on the stall owner. Xiao, Yingying looked up, her gaze meeting his, though her long lashes fluttered slightly as if she was deep in thought. Her beautiful eyes sparkled, giving her an innocent charm. The stall owner, noticing Xiao Yan's discerning demeanor, chuckled and said, Young man, while it's true this 3-jade exquisite rabbit isn't worth that price alone, it has other, hidden benefits. Oh, Xiao responded, intrigued, and waited for the vendor to explain. Hee, young lady, you've probably noticed it yourself. There's a faint icy power radiating from the rabbit's head. While I don't know the exact origin of this power, it's something even a 7-star Do-D couldn't unravel. It's definitely not just an ordinary item, the vendor said with a sly smile. You're right. There's something strange about it. I don't know what it is either, but it feels like it holds a secret. Plus, it's adorable. Yingying agreed, her eyes still fixated on the rabbit. Even so, it's still overpriced, Xiao sighed, rolling his eyes at Yingying. Is she really this naive? Or just pretending? It was obvious the vendor was trying to fleece them with a hiked price. Yet Yingying was playing right into his hands. Yingying's face flushed slightly, realizing her mistake. She glanced at Xiao with an embarrassed look. Heh, young lady, your little boyfriend here seems rather frugal. You should be careful. Your future standing might be in jeopardy, the stall owner teased. Cough, cough, cough. Xiao nearly choked at the vendor's bold words and coughed several times in response. 1,000,000 gold coins? And throw in this, Xiao said, picking up an inconspicuous item from the stall's assortment without bothering to haggle further. It was an old, yellowed scroll, so faded that the writing on it was illegible. Judging by its appearance, it seemed unlikely to be an ordinary object. Xiao sudden choice wasn't random. Deep within him, his core had stirred, as if something within the scroll had resonated with the inscription in his soul. That had prompted him to grab the scroll. Wait a minute, that item's not for sale. The vendor abruptly interjected, just as Xiao was about to hand over the 1,000,000 gold coins via his Do-D crystal card. Heh, boy, if I'm not mistaken, you're an alchemist, aren't you? The vendor's eyes gleamed as he spoke to Xiao. I am, Xiao replied, setting down the scroll. His mind raced. Damn, did he notice something special about the scroll? Don't worry, young man. You're an imperial 1st-rank alchemist, right? Someone with your potential has a bright future ahead. I wouldn't dare take advantage of you, the vendor said reassuringly, but I think I have a proposition that might interest you. What kind of deal? Xiao Yin asked, his soul power expanding outward in a surge of strength. The vendor's eyes widened. Indeed, a first-rank imperial alchemist. And his soul power. It's on the verge of breaking through the mortal grade of the imperial realm. Excellent, excellent. The vendor laughed heartily. Here's the deal, young man, he began. In a few days, once the auction here wraps up, we're planning to venture into the wildlands outside the Yingying royal palace. We'd like to hire you as our mercenary group's alchemist. Out in the wilderness, having an alchemist on hand is crucial for survival. Without one, if we get into trouble, it's as good as a death sentence. According to our intel, certain areas in the wildlands can only be traversed with an alchemist's soul power. The wildlands? Xiao Yan's pupils contracted as he took in this information. The wildlands. That area was home to various magical beasts and was dangerously close to the heart of the desolate desert, infamous for being one of the deadliest places around. Even an 8-star Do-D wouldn't dare to cross it lightly. The level of danger in that place was unparalleled. More importantly, Xiao Yin knew that in those wildlands, there was a chance he could find the final 2 ingredients he needed, the magical core and blood essence of a 6th-rank ice-type magical beast. What's in it for me? Xiao Yin asked, now genuinely intrigued. Strangely, the vendor no longer seemed like a simple swindler in his eyes. You'll just need to provide us with replenishment pills and, if necessary, use your soul power to help us navigate. In return, we'll assign a 6-star Do-D to protect you the entire time, the vendor said, clearly excited by the prospect. After all, the vendor had already tried recruiting from the Yingying royal family's alchemist association, but no alchemist had been willing to venture into such a dangerous place. And as for compensation, the vendor added, you can name your price. Is that so? Xiao Yin smiled faintly. I won't ask for much then. Just give me a 6th-rank ice-type magical core and its essence. Xiao Yan's calm words hung in the air as he watched the vendor closely. He knew full well how rare and precious a 6th-rank ice-type magical beast core was, but as a peak-level 1st-rank imperial alchemist, Xiao Yin felt he was worth such a reward. Moreover, from the vendor's earlier statements, it was clear that the man had already sought help from the Yingying royal family's alchemist association and had come up empty-handed. No alchemist had been willing to risk their life in the wildlands. What? The vendor's face tightened at Xiao Yan's demand. This kid really has guts. Asking for a king's ransom. You're asking too much, young man, the vendor said after a brief pause, his expression softening. We'll provide all the necessary herbs for the replenishment pills, and we're even assigning a 6-star Do-D to protect you. Do you know how rare it is to find a magical core above 3rd rank? Magical beasts of that level tend to gather in groups and dominate entire territories. As for a 6th-rank beast, finding one is hard enough, let alone killing it. Not to mention how precious their cores and blood essence are, the vendor added with a slight frown. Enough with the flattery. I don't know exactly what you've encountered, but I can assure you that with me around, no soul power will harm you, Xiao Yin said confidently as a faint trace of his 23-colored Do-Chi emerged around him. What a terrifying flame, the vendor remarked, sensing the immense power Xiao Yin emitted. All right then, the vendor exclaimed, smiling. It's settled, young brother. I look forward to our cooperation. Likewise, Xiao Yin replied with a smile. I want to go too. Yingying, still crouching on the ground, timidly raised her hand and spoke up. Why would you go? Xiao Yin scolded. That place is far too dangerous for a girl. You should stay back at the sect where it's safe. But I want to. Yingying insisted, clutching the 3-jade exquisite rabbit tightly and turning her head away. Fine, we'll talk about it later, Xiao Yin said, relenting for the moment. How much for this? Xiao Yin asked, pointing to the worn, yellowed scroll. You know what? I'll just give it to you, the vendor replied, shrugging. As for the 3-jade exquisite rabbit, just 10,000 gold coins will do. Damn it, he's definitely a swindler. Xiao Yin cursed internally, but remained outwardly calm as he picked up the yellowed scroll and put it away. Xiao Yin, could I borrow some money from you? Yingying asked after a few moments, turning toward him with a sheepish expression. She had just realized that she didn't have any money on her. Here, Xiao said, exasperated, as he handed his Do-D crystal card to the vendor and transferred 10,000 gold coins. Hee, young brother, you're quite generous, the vendor said with a chuckle. I'll contact you once the Xianling royal family's auction is over. As he spoke, an orange-colored Do-Chi radiated from his body, sending a thin stream into Xiao Yan's body. You can use this trace of energy to contact me when the time comes, the vendor explained. Understood, Xiao Yan replied, pulling Yingying along as they headed deeper into the market. Interesting young man, the vendor muttered as he watched them leave. I don't know what that yellowed scroll is, but it's certainly not an ordinary item. Oh well, an imperial first-rank alchemist? I suppose I can do him a favor. Not many alchemists would dare venture into such dangerous places these days. That kid is the first, the vendor mused with a laugh before gathering his goods into his storage ring and vanishing into the crowd. Xiao Yan, I'll pay you back that 10,000 gold coins, Yingying said softly, allowing him to lead her as she bit her lip, a determined look on her face. Xiao Yan glanced over his shoulder at her, but said nothing, continuing to walk. Don't get the wrong idea, Yingying quickly added, noticing his silence. It's just that when I was at home, I didn't carry money because I was always with my brother. All right, I get it, Xiao Yan said with a shrug. 10,000 gold coins was hardly a concern for him. Alchemists, especially of Xiao Yan's caliber, were notoriously wealthy. As a peak-level first-rank imperial alchemist, Xiao Yan's fortune was said to rival kingdoms. Still, high-level pills were rarely for sale, and most high-tier alchemists preferred to trade their creations for rare herbs or favors from powerful individuals rather than sell them for gold. Barter was the preferred method of exchange for top-tier alchemists, a means of trading their painstakingly crafted pills for resources or alliances they needed. That was the true way of elite alchemists. As Yingying walked beside him, she stroked the smooth surface of the three-jade exquisite rabbit. A faint icy aura emanated from the rabbit and slowly seeped into her body, though the effect was weak. Her fondness for the little trinket was evident. Xiao Yan remained calm as they made their way deeper into the medicine market. Meanwhile, his soul power probed the yellowed scroll he had just acquired. As soon as his vast soul power touched the scroll, it was blocked by an invisible force. Yet deep within him, the core inscription nestled in his Niwen palace stirred with a greedy desire. This place is too crowded. Better wait until we're alone, Xiao Yan thought, relieved that he now had a plan in mind. He began surveying the market around him. They had almost reached the deepest part of the medicine market. The number of stalls had noticeably thinned out, and even the crowd had significantly dwindled. Only those with considerable strength and resources ventured this far. The average person wouldn't bother coming here, lest they embarrass themselves. Hey! A playful voice suddenly called out from beside Xiao Yan. Looks like you've got something interesting on you.